I think the biggest thing for me, Mike, is in net. And just kind of going off what you were saying, like they need one of these goaltenders to really take charge.
Mhm.
I think the hardest thing from last year was putting so much on Sam Ersson in the middle of the season when they were already in a playoff spot and they were already playing well. And the last game of Hart's career, which seems like his last game of his NHL career, was right after the Flyers. I mean, they were buzzing at that time. They had a 5-1 win over Dallas the night where Owen Tippett had that backhand spinorama goal.
Yeah.
Everything was going great, and they were, again, like they won 5 in a row, and it's like, all right, they're going into Colorado. And it was right before the All-Star break. They lost a couple of games. I think they won 5 and then lost 5 going into the break. And that was that last game that Hart played. And then you put so much pressure on Sam Ersson to be like, hey, we need you to kind of take us to the playoffs right now. And like, he's only played, I think at that time, maybe 30 something games, not even, maybe 25. So it's hard for that. And it's hard for a young goalie. And then you also have Fedotov, who came in the later part of the year, played in the last couple of games. He came in the worst stretch of last season. So I get what you're saying. It's kind of tough to kind of pinpoint where, you know, the goaltending is going to be. Do you have a set guy in your mind that you're like, hey, like I think this guy's going to be the starter, or do you feel like this is just going to kind of be like a 1A 1B situation all year? They both kind of split, see what Ersson has, see what Fedotov has, and then the Flyers kind of go from there and make their choice.
Yeah, I think, well, Erson's got a little bit better body of work, right? You get a little bit more of a sample size with him. Like when Hart was still there, and they probably, you budget in a certain amount of rest for Hart, a certain amount of games. Like, let's keep Sam in the certain window of games, and then when kind of the situation changed after the All-Star break, and then you thrust them into that, right? And then all of a sudden your plan goes out the window,
Right.
and so and then all of a sudden you're leaning on this guy, and he might not quite have been ready for that, and now you're leaning on him, and now in the weight, tiredness of the season, and then the weight of playoffs and the weight of every game meaning so much after the All-Star game starts to get you a little bit, and Fedotov came in a little bit late, I don't know, it's kind of an audition a little bit. So now you come into the season, are they 50-50? I don't know. Probably not, right? They're probably,
Right.
Harrison's probably ahead, he's probably 65-35, or, if my math is right, he'll get a proportion more of the games, and it'll probably end up being his to run with, and
Yeah.
should he waiver, the other guy's going to get a chance. But I mean, I assume from the start he's going to be the head guy. He'll get more of the games. But again, it's a big load, like your first full year like that. You can't dump 80% of the games on a guy like that. You're gonna have to lean on these two, and they're gonna be goaltending by committee a little bit. I mean, you have to. You can't put it
Yeah.
on these. You don't even know what you have really. You've got to, none of them are proven enough. So you're gonna have to balance them out a little bit. It might be 65-35, but you're gonna have to get work out of both of them, substantial work out of each.